Welcome to Tezzeret. Ooh, playing it's Yarok the Desecrated. So I just got stomped by mono green. So I'm kind of excited to be playing Yarok, which at least give us the opportunity to go a little bit later into the game. As far as opening hand goes, we have Interplanar Beacon Island. We anticipate. Yeah, I like this. This is a pretty solid hand. We'll keep on this one, and hopefully we can get down Tezzeret pretty quick. That'd be some good magic. So, but yes, welcome to some Tezzeret. As you can tell, if you look at my icon, I like me some Tezzeret. Tezzeret's always been my little avatar, and playing any sort of artifact-based deck, especially blue-black with Tezzeret at the helm, is one of my favorite things to do in Magic. So here we are. So I'm very excited about this stack. Get down island. Let's go and pass the turn. So we're playing Tezzeret. +2, Tezzeret deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of artifacts you control. You gain X life. And then -3, return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Then exile the -8, exile the top 10 cards of your library. Put all artifact cards from among them onto the battlefield, which is pretty cool. All right, anything else? Let's go and pass the turn. So we did run into negate, which is actually really good because we can pop, maybe some sort of ramp spell from our opponent, or if we don't catch something with negate, we can end up going for anticipate to find our next land drop for the turn. So, and that will be them passing the turn. So let's go for anticipate because we want to make sure we're hitting our land drops. If we can get to Firemind Vessel, that's going to be really good. And there we go, Fabled Passage. That'll go into our hand. Put the rest on the bottom in any order. Let's have Fabled Passage enter the battlefield. Now, unfortunately, with Fabled Passage, we don't have 4 lands, so it's going to enter the battlefield untapped, or it's going to enter the battlefield tapped, excuse me. And so we're just going to hold on to the negate and at least kind of leave it up to where to see what we want to end up going for. But if we can cash in, yeah, it'd be nice to get down Midnight Clock. At least we can do that next turn, so that does kind of keep us open. Playing gets Yarok the... Yeah, I think we want to negate on this, because we're going to get rid of a card draw source and get rid of them putting an extra lane on the battlefield. At the very least, this is good. Because if they don't have that 4th land, then that shuts them off negate. So I kind of like that. Maybe it's a little bit aggressive on this one, but I really do like that. So, and it just forces them to go for your rock. So let's go and crack the Fabled Passage. And at this point, we just have a lot of blue, so we're going to go for blue, and then hopefully we can get down Firemind. Oh, there we go. Run into another blue source. Let's have Firemind Vessel enter the battlefield. That way with Firemind Vessel, once we get down this Midnight Clock, we're going to be able to set up a very nice finale Revelation. I'm probably not going to get to that X equals 10 spot, but cashing in, simply maybe 4 or 5 cards with finale Revelation should really allow us to hopefully stabilize with Tezzeret and really clean up our opponent's board state. So reveal for 3, then return creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So there's no creature, so this is kind of a blind concoct, which it's always fun to see that. And it looks like they whiffed on that one, so I'll definitely take that. We've got Yarok swinging it for 3. That's going to put us down to 22, and that's going to be Dismal Backwater. So we go for Midnight Clock, and that'll still keep us open on Sabotage. Yeah, I think that'll be really good. All right, so we're going to have Midnight Clock enter the battlefield. That's going to be extra blue. Let's have Backwater enter. We're going to gain a life, go back up to 23. And then let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent. So, all right, we're going to get that hour on Midnight Clock. And whatever they decide to go for this turn, we do have Sinister Sabotage to stop that. And then we're really going to start working on going for... I don't think we need to go for Sinister on that. I think there's better things we could target. If they get a free Yarok entering the battlefield, that's fine. I'd rather catch something like the Reef card. Rising Reef. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I'd rather catch something like that. And with us cashing in a pretty good chunk of mana, we can almost just like hardcast the Magic Mirror. That's going to be 4, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we've got enough mana to do that, and I think we might. Okay, so we're going to get that hour counter. Ooh, and then Price of Fame. Okay. So we do have 4 damage that we can cash in. We actually go for really nice Finale of Revelation, where it's not going to be 10. If we end up going for Magic Mirror, that's going to give us a lot of, and that'll really help us out with Tezzeret too. I think we can do this. We've got the time. We're only looking at Yarok. If they get down something, if we go shields down on Sinister Sabotage, if they've got a counterspell, so be it. But yeah, this resolves, and we're just going to get some really nice... Oh, look at that animation. All right, opponent's going to go for Once Upon a Time. And so at the beginning of your upkeep, we get to put a knowledge counter. So we're basically in that draw extra card territory. And this is exactly what this deck wants to do. You want to get down something like Firemind's Research, really ramp out really quick. Now, once we end up going for Tezzeret, we've got Price of Fame, we've got some other options. Once we kind of control our opponent's board state, we're really going to be able to get these Tezzeret. Because once you get down Tezzeret and you go for those +2, it is, whew, there's some good magic. All right, so we got old Fibblethip entering the battlefield. Cashing in a card. Still need to build Fibblethip. And they're going to go for Guardian Project, which if I had the counter spell open, if we had gone shields up on that, I would have definitely targeted that Guardian Project. All right, so we're drawing 2 cards now. It's we're having some fun. And we don't run into another land. And I think at this point, I think we go Tezzeret. We can plus up on 2. They can swing in for 4, but that still keeps us open on Price of Fame. So, yeah, let's go Tezzeret. We're going to gain a life, go to 21. And I hope you're ready for a creepy hand. Here we go. To all of you watching, oh, look at that. Boom, pop our opponent. I'm just going to put them down to 28 and then pass the turn. So we've got some options to control their board state. You know, we can go for, once they decide to swing in with Yarok the Desecrated, before we go to damage on Tezzeret, we can go for Price of Fame. That will, you know, with Kai's Ghost Form, they can dodge that. But at least we're going to kind of, you know, mess up their combat step. And if they swing Fibblethip at Tezzeret for 1, Tezzeret's just going to laugh at them and be like, okay, what are you doing? But the only thing that we need to really watch out for, and I'll take that because that'll be a swamp. Let's send Tezzeret back to the command zone. And yes, definitely want to do that, as we don't want to deck ourselves. You know, if we lose the game from drawing cards, it's pretty, it's a pretty fun thing to do. But yeah, we don't really want that to happen. So, all right, so opponent's gonna be swinging in for 4. That's gonna put us down to 20. But let's see. All right, so we're gonna get Midnight Clock, drawing 2. This is beautiful. All right, so we're gonna have Swamp enter the battlefield. There's nothing that we can really target in their graveyard. There's nothing that we can target with Command the Dreadhorde. So that's something that we do want to end up going for. If we're going to go for Tezzeret again next turn, let's try to get down as many artifacts as possible. So let's go for Drawn from Dreams. And look at the top 7 cards. On this point, we're just digging for artifacts. Witching Well is a great option. And then Dispersal, I think, would be very, very good. Yeah, I like that. All right, so what we can do with that is we go for Dispersal. We don't. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we do have the mana for Dispersal. I think we want to do this. We can do it in response to something. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we have just enough mana to do it. So let's go for Witching Well. So we're going to have that enter the battlefield. We're going to get some Scry going. Thought Erasure. Actually, I like both of those. Yeah, that's going to give us an artifact count very cheaply, and we can pop our opponent. Yeah, let's just go and pass the turn. So I'm probably going to go for this Dispersal. We'll see if they want to swing in with your rock. We'll see if there's something that they cast with a higher converted mana cost, and then we're going to go for Dispersal in response to that. Because the cool thing about Dispersal is it's going to dodge that Kaya's Ghost Form, because they have to return it back to their hand. So. Ooh, okay, return up to 2 target instant or sorcery cards. Yeah, I think we've actually got to go for Sinister Sabotage on that. Yeah, because if they bring back Assassin's Trophy, that's really going to complicate us trying to go for Tezzeret. And we're going to leave that Thought Erasure on top. It would have been nice to go for the Dispersal, but if we want to, we can actually even just kind of get that Yarok taken care of with a Price of Fame, but we're not really under any sort of pressure right now. Yeah, I think I kind of like that, because we can go Price of Fame, and then maybe we can dodge it next turn. Because we're going to be drawing 3 cards. Let's hold off. Yeah, let's just see. All right, so I'm going to swing in for 4. That's going to put us down to 16. They go back up to 34, and then we need to stop that lifelink now that I think about it. Okay, but if we get enough Tezzeret artifacts down, then we'll be good to go. So, oh, and the Finale of Eternity. Okay, so now we've kind of got a line of play that we can go for. So if we go Tezzeret, that will allow us to still leave up at least 2 mana to go for Price of Fame, which is pretty much exactly what we want to happen. So let's go Tezzeret. Yeah, because that's going to be 2 mana between Midnight Clock and then Dismal Backward. All right, so we're going to do that. So we're going to go for Tezzeret. And we're going to gain an extra life. Let's go for the plus ability. Oh, yeah. It's going to pop them down to 30. We go back up to 21, and then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. So get an extra counter on Midnight Clock. We are getting very, very close to Midnight Clock being active, which is, I'd rather kind of leave it as a mana rock at this point right now. Bones for Blood. They're going to sacrifice old Fibblethip. And then let's do this. So let's go for Price of Fame. And actually, yeah, I don't think no matter how we sequence this, they're going to be able to bring that creature back to the battlefield, and they're still going to get those double triggers. So um, that's going to be Guardian Project, and they're going to get that extra trigger. So they're going to bring back Blood for Bones. Yeah, because what we need to do is, if we just end up popping Price of Fame on your rock, they did get some good stuff back in their hand, but now that that creature's kind of done with, we can hopefully deal with a lot of these creatures. So we'll go ahead and let that resolve and see if they want to swing in with the Yarok the Desecrated first. And they're getting some really nice board states going so far. That's going to be Leafkin Druid, Temple of Mystery, and 2 mana available. So we're going to go for Assassin's Trophy again. Let's go Price of Fame on Yarok the Desecrated. And, you know, with Tezzeret getting on up, we're making a lot of our land drops, so that's going to be okay. They do have access to 3 mana, but only one of that is going to be blue. So we'll kind of see. We do have the Surveil coming down, Bag of Holding and Murder. Yeah, we're going to leave both of those on top. That does bring back Yarok the Desecrated to give them a few extra triggers, but at least now we can finally end up going for Finale of Eternity and just really wiping their entire board out. So we're going to take action on this. Let's grab ourselves another Swamp. Like I mentioned, we're halfway through the deck right now. If you're keeping score at home, we are at 31 cards left in our library. So, and now they can't swing in, so they're just looking at a Leafkin Druid, and then we've got Midnight Clock, and we've got Magic Mirror coming down. So yeah, we need to we need to get going pretty quick on this one. All right, it's gonna be Growth Spiral that they cast, and yeah, because if we end up going for Finale, we can bring everybody back to the hand. I think that would be pretty good options, especially if we pop Scholar, Leafkin, and then yeah, we can take some damage on this because we're getting some pretty good life gain. So we'll see what's going to happen. All right, so we got Midnight Clock at the beginning of each upkeep, Magic Mirror. Oh, goodness, this is a lot of cards. Okay, all right, so Castle's going to be good. It's kind of hard to keep up with what's going on. So we've got Castle. So if I do miss something, I do 100% apologize. So I think the best bet is we go Finale for 5. And we have no creature cards in our graveyard, so as much as Finale would be fun, we can't do that. So we're going to go Finale for 5. We're going to target all of those creatures, target your Rock 2, and then we're going to auto pay on this one. Yeah, I think we're okay with that. All right, so we're going to auto pay. That's still going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're still going to have access to 5 mana. And we're going to pop all 3 of those creatures. The good thing about this is that it shuts off their Blood for Bones, which is going to be very important for us and still gives us access to some counter magic. So, all right, they're going to go for Unsummon. And let's go. And now that I think about it, our opponent did not say please. So, we're going to go for didn't say please on Unsummon. Because that's going to be all the mana that they have left. All right, so we're going to destroy all creatures. It's going to get rid of those. That kind of puts them in a position where they have to go for Yarok again, which that would be, you know, not their entire turn, but it'd be a pretty good chunk of their turn. All right, so it's going to get rid of those creatures. And then I think we still have one more. We have 2 mana left available. That could be Thought Erasure. And now that I think about it, I kind of like Thought Erasure. So let's go for that. Let's see what else they've got in the hand. We know exactly what they do have, but we want to make sure that we get rid of anything that's going to be, ooh, yeah, let's get rid of Flood of Tears. That would be, that'd be terrible for us. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of Flood of Tears, and Disdainful Stroke is gonna be a very good option for us. And then we're gonna pass the turn. So we are still sitting at 4 artifacts. We've got 1, 2. We have 2 more artifacts in our hand. So if we can dump those out before we go for Tezzeret, because that's gonna be 10, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with Midnight Clock. And we're about to draw 7 cards. Oh goodness, this is like when you it's like we're going down a hill really fast, and all of a sudden we go to pump the brakes, and we don't have any brakes. So we've we've got, if we end up losing this way, hey, it is what it is. But it's just, sometimes you build something in Magic that's fun, and next thing you know, you're like, oh, we're going. Yeah, because shuffle our hand and graveyard into your library, so that will help out a little bit. And then draw 7 cards. So what we can do is, in response to that trigger, 12 hours put on the counter, shuffle your hand into your graveyard. So we might have a few instant speed actions that we can go for. If we wanted to jam like a Liliana's Triumph during our opponent's turn, that would be a good option. We can even Murderous Rider in response to that, because that'll be a few extra cards that we can shuffle back into our library. So we're going to try our best to sequence some stuff up. So that's going to be Midnight Clock. Okay, we had some stuff that we wanted to do in response to that, but that's okay. All right, that's a bummer, but that happens. But at least we got the reset button going. It would have been nice to kind of sequence some of that stuff. So, all right, so we draw into a few more, draw into Arcane Signet. Let's go Island for the turn. And so what we got was Brazen and Chemist's Insight and Finale. Yeah, once again, I think we just want to hit the reset button. We just want to get that commander tax going very, very quickly. So let's go for Finale of Eternity. We're going to X equals 5. We're going to target Yarok and target a land. We're going to auto pay for that. And I guess, you know what? During that situation, I should hit the control button. That would allow us to go full control. I'm still getting used to Arena's little interactions like that, but we had some more stuff to do that turn, and that would have been a lot better for us. So, all right, so we're going to pop those 2 creatures. We need to start dumping our artifacts out, and we do have Sinister Sabotage, which is something that we do want to try to leave up. So that's going to be Arcane Signet and Firemind Vessel. So we'll go for that, and that'll keep us open on Sinister Sabotage, because that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. If we end up going, yeah, that'll cut us off. So yeah, let's do this. Let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent. In the turn, if we go for Sinister Sabotage on Yarok, I think actually Yarok's in the graveyard, so if they have some sort of Bone for Blood's play that they want to end up going for, at least we do have Sinister Sabotage to kind of stop any sort of funny business from our opponent, and we do have Brazen too. So with the Nissa Who Shakes the World, we do need to watch out for that -8. I'm pretty sure we do have Tails End in here, so let me get over here and let that trigger resolve. Yes, we do have Tails End in here. So if we actually do run into Tails End, we can actually, if our opponent does end up going for the -8, we can actually counter that triggered ability. So that would be a good option for us to stop that. So they're going to go for Blood for Bones. And then, yeah, let's go for Sinister Sabotage on that, because they're going to go down on resources, and that'll be really good for us. So they were trying to bring back Yarok a little bit cheaper, and this will basically make it to where they have to bring back Blood for Bones somehow, and we're going to counter that one. So we do need to get Tezzeret going, because we're drawing a lot of cards really quick with Magic Mirror over there. So let's see if they have any other responses. They do have at least double blue mana open up. We haven't really seen much counter magic from our opponent, though. So we'll see if that's what they're kind of waiting on at this point. Nope, looks like it's going to go through. So Island on top. And we do have double island, so we're going to go and dump that one into the graveyard. And worst case scenario, if we don't hit Tails End on Nissa, we can always, Field of the Dead. Okay. That'll be an instant board state we do need to watch out for. If we do run into Cry of the Canarium, that'll also allow us to kind of clean up a lot of these little dudes. But the good thing is our opponent's actually deeper into the library than we are, I think. Yeah, there are 22 cards in the library. So if we can just kind of, that Magic Mirror is going to be... it's going to be racing our opponent's deck. So we'll see what we can do. That's going to be a 7. That's going to be another forest that can come across. And... yeah, if we can just grab a removal spell for that forest, we're just definitely going to keep popping our opponent's lands. So, and opponent's going to go for Forever Young, and they're going to put put any number of creature cards from a graveyard on top of your library, draw a card. So they're going to put Scholar, Yarok, and Fibblethip. So that way they can cash in a little bit of extra card draw. So let's see what we rip into, but yeah, that's going to be a pretty good option for them to bring back Yarok too. So they draw into Yarok. They can't cast Yarok yet. If we can hit a counter spell, that would almost solidify them. Basically, just tax Yarok out of the game, basically. So and then Shimmer of Possibility, Mirror Maid, and then Karn's Bastion. All right, so I don't think we ran into a I don't think we actually ran into a counterspell, which is a little bit of a bummer. But we can go Thought Erasure on. Yeah, that'll be good. So now we've got 25 cards left in the library. That's going to be 6 next turn. I think we need to do some setting up. Put targeted instant or sorcery from your hand on top of your library. So let's go for Thought Erasure first. So we want to target our opponent. Let's see what they've got. So we're going to reveal their hand. We're going to choose a non-land permanent from that. I think at this point, we get rid of Agent of Treachery. Yeah, that's not going to be good for us at all. Yeah, because they get the double triggers. That's going to be Murderous Rider. Yeah, we actually do like Murderous Rider on top of our library. Now we can put... So if we're going to try to stop, and then once again, if we've got a lot of stuff going on right now, it's a little hard to kind of keep up with everything, but I'm going to try my best to get some good Karn activations. We also do have Shimmer Possibility. That's another option that can allow us to go for Thought Erasure. So I kind of do like that. So we're going to go Mystic Sanctuary, have that enter the battlefield. Let's put... let's view the battlefield. We don't want to pop those creatures. So let's put Thought Erasure on top. It's going to go on top of our library. We're going to be able to go for Shimmer of Possibility. And that way we can just kind of make it to where, yes, take action. That's going to go on top. We're going to go for Shimmer of Possibility. That's going to allow us to grab Thought Erasure. And we're going to grab Yarok and send that one back into the commands, back into the graveyard. And that'll essentially just really kind of cut them off any sort of value play, hopefully. So let's go Thought Erasure again on our opponent. That's going to be an extra Surveil too. So we're going to pop them. Let's make them get rid of Yarok the Desecrated. That's going to make Yarok go back into the graveyard. Now, they can go for Scholar of Ages at this point. And so... But we can Chemister's Insight to try to run into a counterspell. Let's put that into the graveyard. And that would be Chemister's Insight. Because if they bring back stuff with Scholar, that's going to be a lot of stuff that they can do. That does allow us to go for Murder. But we need to close the game out. So I think we really need to go Tezzerets. So let's have Mirror Maid enter the battlefield. Have it enter the battlefield as a copy of Firemind Vessel. Yeah, because I think that's our best bet. So we're going to copy Firemind Vessel. It's going to enter the battlefield tapped. We go Chromatic Lantern. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. And then we can go for Dimir Locket, which would be another artifact. And we're just going to get really ahead on mana, and then I think that's it. We've already made the land drop, and then we're going to go pass the turn to our opponent. So they're going to go Once Upon a Time. Probably going to grab that Scholar, I would assume, which will allow them to reset. Hopefully we can find a few more counter action, and that'll allow us to go for Tezzeret. Now, we do have a lot of mana. We've got 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we've got 18 total mana. So we're looking at Tezzeret next turn. That's going to be 10. That does give us 8 mana left over. Now with that 8 mana, that does gives us some really nice options. We've got Brazen Borrower. Return target non-land permanent to opponent controls of their hand. So if we need to bounce Nissa back, we can certainly do that. We do have Murder, which is going to allow us to kind of clean up some of our opponent's board state. Our board wipe, yeah, Finale of Eternity is in the graveyard. So we do have a few other sweepers that we can potentially go for. And let's see. Yeah, with Nissa, they're going to have to plus up to make it 8. So if we finally do run into that Tails End, that will be an answer for Nissa too. So even if we do end up going 10 total mana for Tezzeret, with that 8 mana left over, we're going to have some pretty good options for us to go for. And they've got to 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the point of Brawl. This is why I love Brawl, because win or lose, like, I've had fun. You know, you're trying to race this magic mirror that's trying to make you lose the game, and you just can't get enough artifacts out. I mean, if they end up going Blood for Bones, and that might be a rock that they bring back, the thing that we have to watch out for is Agent of Treachery. That's not going to be something that we want to see. The good thing is that if they end up going, well, if they Agent of Treachery on Magic Mirror, that's perfectly fine. They can have it, because that's going to be a lot of card draw. And so, that would just force us to try to stabilize before they go for that. So we'll see. All right, so Agent of Treachery. Let's see what they steal. And that's going to be Yarok. The good thing is we don't get double Agent Treachery. Because honestly, I think if they take Magic Mirror. All right, so yeah, they did take Magic Mirror, and they are at 20 cards left in the library. So at this point, we just need to stabilize. Because eventually they're going to lose the game. Yeah, I like that. That was a very good play by our opponent. All right, so we just need to basically just tempo our opponent out very, 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 very quickly. All right, so we're going to go for that, especially if they're getting some more advantage going. Yes, they're down to 18. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. 16. And so we're going to go for Brazen. Actually, we do have the mana to go. No, we don't. We only have one mana. All right, so we draw. Ooh, Ritual of Soot. Okay. We're converting mana cost 3 or less. That's going to clean up a lot of stuff out there. Okay, so we're on that game plan of trying to win with Magic Mirror. And so let's go. It doesn't matter what lane we get down. So Swamp enters the battlefield. Let's go Brazen to return Nissa back to the hand. That way there's no ultimate. And an argument could be made for to let them get the... Brazen always makes me laugh. Let's go for Ritual of Soot. Destroy all creatures with converting mana cost 3 or less. That's going to keep them on the battlefield. And then I think we still... Because we don't really have... We have Murder that we can go for. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can still go for Tezzeret. But to be honest, I think Chemistry's Insight and leaving up Murder and then flashing some stuff in, yeah, I think I kind of like doing that a little bit better. So let's just pass the turn. We're going to pass the turn to our opponent. We're going to let them draw some cards. And then we have to discard a card. I guess we'll just get rid of Fabled Passage at this point right now. All right, there we go. All right, so they're going to have to draw a bunch of cards. That's going to put them at 8 cards left in their library. So next turn, if we can just survive this game... If we could just survive this turn, which we would have to... We've got some options. So they've got 8 cards left in the library. That's going to be Magic Mirror at 7. And so let's see what we can do about this. Now, we do need to go probably Chemistry's Insight. And I think Nissa, who shakes the world, that's just an elemental. That's going to be double green. Yeah, that's fine. And that puts them at only having 3. They have 4 mana right now because they have no forest. Maybe they haven't made the land drop, I don't think, yet. All right, so we'll let that go through. And so yeah, we're just holding back at this point right now. And so let's see. Because I think, well, actually, they need to draw in 1 more card because even if they hit exactly 8, that allows them to survive another turn. So I don't think we have anything that says target player draws a card. The only thing that we'd goof up on is something like if they had Risen Reef down, we just need them to cash in 1 more extra card draw. Because if a creature enters the battlefield with Guardian Project, they draw a card. So then if they just dump all of their creatures out, then they lose the game. Yeah, and that's not a May ability. That is a draw ability. All right, so they're going to go for Concoct. Surveil 3, return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, which we're looking at Risen Reef, Thorn Mammoth. I think we can survive on this. Yarok's Wave Crasher. I think this is okay. We don't really have to worry about... Yeah, because Scholar of Ages, and yeah, I think we just let that go through. And then if we need to do something, we can go for Murder in response to some sort of bounce spell. But yeah, like I mentioned, as soon as they get a creature down, they're basically in this weird holding pattern. So we should be able to close the game out, assuming something goofy doesn't happen. Okay, so they're going to return some creatures to their hand, and that's going to be 2 Guardian Project triggers. Once they bring back Yarok Wave Crasher, yeah, sure, go for it. They return the creatures back to the hand. They're going to cash in a card draw. That's going to be 7 cards. They're going to cash in. All right, so that's going to be lethal next turn because they've only got 6 cards left in the library. That's going to be 8. We could even go Murder on Breeding Pool if we want to. Yeah, let's just... I think we might as well just go and do that just to cut them off mana. Let's go Murder on Breeding Pool. Because if they have no mana, then we just pass the turn and they lose the game. All right, so it's going to pop them. Yeah, and I think that's we flash in Brazen Bar. Let's actually do this. So we go Chemist's Insight, draw 2 cards, cry, and then we're gonna. I'm just doing this just to be safe. We should win the game right now. I'm just doing this just as a precautionary thing because we have access to mana. So, all right. So mana geode. All right, then we pass it over to our turn. I do want to get down Tezzeret still, though. That's kind of why I'm doing this. All right, so we're gonna go Tezzeret because you came here to see a Tezzeret activation. So let's have Tezzeret enter the battlefield. All right, Tezzeret enters the battlefield. We're gonna go Spinning Wheel. At this point, we're just showcasing it. We're gonna go Mana Geode. We're gonna go Mystic Forge. I think we can go Mystic Forge. Put that on the bottom. That way we can at least get a Tezzeret action. We'll have Karn enter the battlefield. We'll go for the +1. Each opponent's going to lose some life. Pop them down to 22. We go to 27, and then we're going to go ahead and pass the turn. So they should lose the game. So let's see. They've got 0 cards left in library. And there we go. Close it out. So thank you, Agent of Treachery, for stealing the magic mirror from us. We dodged a loss that way. So yeah, like I mentioned, this is Brawl. This is the first deck that I've built with Tezzeret and the first time that I'm playing it, really. Actually, the second game, I think. And so we got a magic mirror pretty quick. Our opponent thankfully took it from us, so we didn't lose the game ourselves. And, this is fun. This is a fun back and forth game of Brawl. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. I can't wait to keep recording with Tezzeret because this is just too much fun. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.